Everybody's seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 classic Christmas film with the soundtrack that children and their parents have been singing for 7.5 decades. But I want to tell you about the voice behind those songs. Burl Ives, a wandering folk singer from the Midwest, who incidentally became the most recognizable voice in children's Christmas music. Burl Ives had one of those lives that you can only read about these days. Born in 1909 in Hunt City, Illinois, Burl learned to play banjo young and grew up singing old English folk songs with his family. After high school, he tried to go to teacher's college, but the Great Depression hit and he didn't really take to it, so he dropped out of school with the sole intention of becoming a nomad musician. It was the early 1930s, peak Depression era, and he rode the rails learning songs from drifters from all over the country, hitchhiking and doing odd jobs and street singing. So romantic. Like most others during that time, he ended up in New York City, where he got into live theater and landed his first role on Broadway in 1938, and later a regular spot on CBS radio called The Wayfaring Stranger, where he would sing all the folk songs that he picked up on his travels. In the 1940s, he got so big as a singer and an actor that he transitioned to Hollywood, appearing in a film adaptation of Cat on the Hot Tin Roof, and later The Big Country in 1958, for which he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Burl Ives was big stuff by the end of the 50s, but there were literally hundreds of singers and actors from that period whose names have been all but forgotten outside of niche folk music history groups. And it would be his decision to get involved with a major production of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in 1964 that would solidify his name in the history of American music and culture for all time. The stop-motion special, based on the song by Johnny Marks, had a pretty tight budget to begin with, and the original cast was made up of mostly unknown Canadian voice actors. Initially, the narrator character, Sam the Snowman, did not exist, but by the time the production was wrapping up, the network and the sponsor suggested adding at least one familiar voice and name to help market the show and give it a bigger draw. That's when Burl Ives was brought in, quite late in the production, to voice the narrator and the host, Sam the Snowman. The animators even made the character kind of look like him. And more than just adding a famous voice, the addition of this character and Burl singing all the famous songs on the soundtrack, including the title track, Holly Jolly Christmas, and Silver and Gold, brought the whole story together. Even decades after his death in 1995, many of his recordings continue to be heard, especially in the wintertime around Christmas, and his influence on folk preservation, popular music, and cross-genre performance remains significant to this day, all thanks to A Story About a Little Reindeer.